What's up, hobby friends? My name is Casey and welcome to another miniature rescue. This week, we're going to take on a massive Orky conversion that I just found on eBay. Once again, we are in the middle of the Orktober season, and it is time to begin work on what will more than likely be, I think, my favorite orc conversion maybe ever. Like, even more than some of the really awesome stuff that we've already worked on for the channel. In preparation for Orktober, I went searching on eBay for the craziest orc conversions that I could find. Sometimes you search eBay for hours and you really don't find anything. Like, somehow the over 500,000 listings just don't want to show you the really good stuff. And yeah, there are more than 500,000 listings for Warhammer on eBay.
Now the whole world's gonna know this.
Sometimes though, the search results open up a secret Warhammer door on the internet and you get some of the absolute best models for rescuing. I'm not sure what it is, roll the dice mostly, but every so often the planets just happen to align and you can pick up some really nice models for not a lot of money. We've worked on some epic models for Orktober and gotten some really killer deals. But this year, I kind of made a bit of an exception. I decided that I would look for some of the most ridiculous orc conversions that eBay had to offer, and I picked up a couple of insane models that needed a ton of work. They weren't exactly cheap though. Last time, we redid a super weird orc war boss and turned it into a pretty nice little death dread. A fun little project with a really cool idea behind it. This week, we're going to work on this insane looted Chaos Knight project that someone started and ended up letting go on eBay. Now, I purchased this knight for a little under $120, which is a halfway decent price for most of the Imperial Knights and Chaos Knight models. This particular Chaos Knight, though, has a little secret. I mean, it's right there, but you know. It is in fact a looted and converted, I'm gonna say, Morkanaut, a started conversion with some really interesting ideas that I was super excited to see and absolutely knew that I needed to buy and continue the good work that had already begun. I did message the seller asking for a bit more information on this glorious conversion, and it turned out that the seller knew the channel, which was really cool. But it wasn't his personal model. He bought it a while back with the same idea of taking it to the next level. But as you do, things just kind of get in the way, and it ended up back on eBay. So no extra info, but still an incredible idea for a knight conversion that we will now attempt to make even more orky and amazing. Let's take a closer look at the model and figure out exactly what's going on with it and where we need to go. From the looks of it, this guy seems to be mostly made up of two models. A majority of it is a Chaos Knight. Now those are really cool models that have a lot of different things going on that make it perfect for an orc conversion. There also appears to be a Space Marine Invictor tactical warsuit slapped on top of this knight. Honestly, I like the idea. It makes a lot of sense that a knight would be captured in battle and outfitted with some kind of steering apparatus that the orcs could use. What I don't particularly like is how the cage is just kind of sitting on top of the model. Like, it's not really integrated into the body, so it looks really tall and kind of funky, like it's gonna fall over. Again, a great idea, but I think we can do something with this to make it sit inside the model a little bit nicer. The rest of the model looks relatively standard. The panels are stock while the codpiece flag has been moved on the body. It's still basically the same as it came. Cool design though, and something I think we might end up keeping. Not sure yet. The best part of this entire build has got to be the asphalt road that the model sits on. I really like this. It looks really nice and it has some cool things going on. I'm definitely keeping this pretty much as is. It's too good to take away from this project. So there are some really cool things about this model. Lots of things to like, but things that could use some changes. The plan so far is to integrate the cage into the body more, so that it sits nicely inside the shell of the knight. Want to add more orky looking parts and pieces to make it look more like a looted vehicle, not something that just kind of sits together. And I would love to get some orcs or Gretchen sitting in or on the model. A lot like I did with the Stompa projects I did for last Orktober. First thing we need to take care of is taking apart this model and getting things ready to be cleaned and repainted. The paint on the panels isn't too thick, but I'm a little worried about the stripes on the trim showing up if we paint directly over it. The lines were made with paint over tape, so the edges do have some texture to them. So I'm afraid if we paint over that, we're just gonna see those lines. So the panels will get a quick bath in the sonic cleaner to get off that top layer of paint. The rest of the body will be checked for mold lines and excess glue. Now, there isn't a ton on here, some weird gel glue and definitely some hot glue on the model that does need to be taken care of before we can put any paint on this model, but it's not terrible. After the panels get their quick dip in the sonic cleaner, I clean them off with a toothbrush to get that paint off. As you can see, the concentrated degreaser I use in combination with the sonic jewelry cleaner really cuts through the paint and turns it into pretty easy to remove sludge. A little scrubbing and we can cut through the initial layers of paint and a good amount of the primer. Now if I really wanted to remove even more and get down to really just bare plastic, then I would just run this for another 20 minutes or so, and that paint would also come off pretty easily. But we don't necessarily need to do that. The paint isn't overly thick, and the primer is now very thin on the model, so a quick coat of new primer will make these parts basically brand new. You don't always need to strip models, but I do find that it's just a lot easier to get them clean and ready to go when you do. Even if the paint's pretty thin, you can just paint over the top of it. Okay, so everything is separated and cleaned up, which ends up being quite a lot with a model this size. Now we can start doing some of the conversion work and figure out what else to add to this model. I did some research into pre-made parts for a model like this, just knight-sized models. There are some interesting options out there for bits that you can add to a model like this. Initially, I wanted to just source some really cool parts from a bunch of different companies, and I did some of that, but not everything that came in ended up being what I considered usable on a model like this one. Let me show you what I mean. I picked up some sweet resin parts from Cromlech, a pretty trusted source, especially for orcs, and I purchased quite a few parts for their larger Stompa-esque models that I thought would be really good for this particular build. But it turns out that these kits are actually made of MDF, which somehow I completely missed on their website. Not sure 100% how that happened, but whatever. And while these are really neat looking, they absolutely won't work for this conversion. So that was kind of a huge bummer, and I ended up looking into 3D printing to shore up those missing parts. Specifically, I ended up going with a company called Station Forge. Some really great looking orcs that I think will work really well for this particular build. I picked up a couple of kits from them that had a large variety of things that I thought might be useful. The Orca's Run Rolla, which has a fantastic crew on top of it that I know I will want, and some various weapons that could definitely come in handy. I also got the Orca's Mega Steppa, an absolute unit of a model that I kind of just wanted anyways, so, you know. The larger weapons and platforms could be a nice addition to this model, but I need to break it down and see if it'll actually work. It's really big. I also picked up this really neat kit off of Weirdo's Workshop from my mini factory called Orctimus Prime. Basically a Questoris Knight style orc mech. This kit looks fantastic on its own, but I'm hoping that the head and leg panels will work for this Chaos Knight frame. I'm gonna print out a few of these parts and just get them ready in case I end up wanting to use them. It's always better to have the parts right in front of you when you go to convert a model. That way you can dry fit things, and seeing them sitting there gives you ideas on the fly. I just find you end up with better results when you know exactly what you're working with, what possibilities are right there. Okay, so before adding any additional parts and pieces, let's work with what we have and slam this warsuit cage on top of that Chaos Knight, or in it. Using a Dremel, I am going to tactically cut a large hole into the top of this knight. Of course, I don't want to make the hole too big or anything, so small chunks get routed out at a time in order to not take too much away. As much as I can, I want to preserve the exhaust pipes that are running along the side of the knight. So cutting around them and leaving the ends means that once the cage gets fitted down inside the body, it will hopefully look like there is a large series of pipes running directly over the top of the body into this new cockpit. Using existing features can definitely be a big help when converting something like this. So make sure to look over what you have to see if there are natural connection points and lines running together that make the kit bash look like it was made that way to begin with. The body of the knight is hollow, so there is actually quite a bit of room for the cage to sit down inside. In order to get that body to sit properly and still mostly function, I did have to take off the lower jaw of the deft thread bits that the previous owner had put on top. That ended up being a good thing though, because I just glued it onto the trim right in front of that. So when the cage shuts, it looks exactly like a lower jaw. So it still functions basically the same way as originally intended. After getting the cage to fit, I glued it down in a few small places so everything could get a dry fit and not fall apart. It ended up pretty much being perfect, so I just glued everything in place, and the main part of the cockpit is pretty much done. The head of the model is generally where you're going to be looking on pretty much every knight. It's always the head that gives the most character and really tells you what kind of knight that it is. So I really want an orky head on the front, so there's really no question. I ended up going with the Orktimus Prime head from the Weirdos Workshop. It's really too good not to be used, and it really calls back to the old metal killicans that I have in my existing army. So it will fit in perfectly as soon as you look at it. You're not going to question whether this is an orc knight or not. The head printed out with a ball joint for a neck, so I cut a hole in the back of the knight's skeleton to fit into. The hole didn't have to be all that big and the ball snapped into place. It's kind of cool that the head can move around a little, but I want to attach tubes and exhaust to this later, so eventually it will get glued into place. That's most of the upper half done for now. More will need to be added, but I want to build out the larger parts first and then work on the smaller details. Up next, we'll be attaching a new orc axe to the existing Chaos Chainsword that the model already has, or replacing it. It will essentially serve the same function in the game, representing some kind of melee weapon, but I really wanted it to look more like an orc weapon. So I grabbed another part from that Orktimus kit, and now need to attach it to the existing arm. A little bit of drilling out from the elbow joint so that the new arm could slot in, and that's about all the work I had to do actually. I did need to make sure that the axe was at least pointed in a good direction, because there aren't movable joints where these will get glued together. So the axe will be able to go up and down and swivel at the shoulder, but not at the elbow. So I did make sure that it was at least in a nice looking position before gluing it in permanently. Most of the large stuff has been taken care of, and we are coming quite a long way on this knight. But now it's time to start thinking about the smaller details. Last year, I printed out a ton of scrap panels for the Stompa builds, and those things came in really handy for closing gaps on larger panels and giving open spaces a little bit more of that orc flair. So I grabbed those out of storage and decided to use them like welded on armor for the cockpit cage. These will wrap around the cage, creating a bit more integration into the actual body, as well as covering up any gaps that are around it, making it look more like it's been welded into the body. In the back of the warsuit cage, there is quite a lot of blank space, and while I could have wrapped more of the armor panels around, it started to look a little weird completely covered up. So instead, I installed an entire sprue of Cromlech exhaust pipes. These little guys did so much work to make this thing look proper. It's over the top and perfect now, and I honestly can't wait to see this with paint on it. So I went ahead and did just that. I primed what was basically finished so that I could set it aside and get things ready for actual paint. I also really wanted to get a crew and add some extra weapons to the body, so I printed out some gunner stations and a bunch of grots from Station Forge, as well as some alternate armor pieces for the legs of the knight. I'm not entirely sure where I want to land in terms of paint right now. On one hand, we could end up with a relatively unscathed Chaos Knight that's been freshly looted, so the paint could be orky but cleaner than normal. Or this thing could be older than dirt and possibly salvaged from under a fallen tower or something. I don't know, I really can't say yet, but I know I can paint a few different things before really committing. The little worker grots do need some paint. I want to keep the scheme simple as not to distract too much from the overall knight, so mostly leather clothes with bright green skin tone should work pretty well. Starting with a Zenithal White Prime over black, I'll come in with some speed paint as quick base coats. It doesn't really matter what colors you use as long as they're generally a darker version of what you want the final colors to be for those objects. So green skin and brown clothes. I will take my final highlight colors and mix them into the initial layers of speed paint and use that as a layer for everything, leaving the recesses the darker speed paint color. Working my way up, adding in more and more of that regular acrylic paint, it becomes more opaque with each pass. This is a really fast method of layering up a model without having to spend too much time getting clean base coats. The contrast or speed paints do a great job at covering everything in pretty much one coat and giving you an easy path to follow for the next layers. Orcs and goblins are also just kind of perfect for this quick slapping and chopping, because at the end, you throw down a healthy helping of Agrax Earthshade Wash over the top and it really ties everything together. I painted a bunch of these little guys, and I have plans for each one of them all around the finished model. But man, oh man, I do not want to rush this project. At first, I was super ready to finish this one in just one video, get it all done really quickly. After all, I converted and painted 2 Stompas last year in kind of the same amount of time. But that was kind of grueling, and even though I really like how those turned out, I wanted to spend more time making them even better. So I'm gonna do the smart, responsible thing and listen to myself for a change and take more time on this model. A large amount of the construction is definitely done. There are other things to add once it all gets painted, but it's definitely coming along nicely. Getting a bunch of stuff lightly put together with super glue and single points to kind of see how far it's come. I feel like the goal of integrating the top into the body has been a massive success. The warsuit's been lowered down into the body and it still sits properly on the frame of the actual knight. It looks like an orc cockpit that an orc installed, and the exhaust coming out of the back is just the cherry on top of it all. The claw arm is just honestly too good to get rid of. I like it way too much for it not to be included, and I have some fun ideas to make it way more orc friendly moving forward. So no worries on that front. There will be extra armor panels and weapons attached to the body, and those are printed and ready to go now. Things are looking good for this orc mini, and I do hope that you can join me as I finish it in the next video. Thank you again for joining me on another miniature rescue. If you liked something about this video, consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this video with your hobby friends. Once again, I'm Casey, and I will see you in the next video, where we finish this insane build and wrap up another successful Orktober. And of course, here's where the model is so far. Thanks again.